When I was first elected 12 years ago, I talked about, frankly, the lack of self-confidence in Leicester. I said at one stage they had a collective inferiority complex. Well, I'll tell you, over the last 12 years, they've got over it. And not only got over it, they are now a proud and self-confident place, and one that recognises just how much it has to offer to the people who are here now, but also to the people who want to invest here in the future. I'm Peter Soulsby and I'm the elected Mayor of Leicester, which is quite an unusual situation in UK cities, but something that certainly in terms of regenerating the city matters a lot, because it does mean I can provide leadership and I can take decisions. We've got a lot of momentum going in Leicester now, and that wasn't the case when I was first elected 12 years ago, but looking back over those 12 years, a lot has been achieved. The Waterside, for example, where the city moved in, actually had to use its compulsory purchase powers, prepared the ground, and having prepared the ground, turned to the private sector for the actual investment. It's been enormously successful. I think it's the best part of 17 acres with many hundreds of homes being developed there, lots of offices, and the total transformation of what was frankly underused, many cases a wasteland, into something very special. One investment I particularly pick out is the Waterside area of Leicester. It had been very much underused, I think very outdated space there for some little manufacturing. What we did was to use our compulsory purchase powers to bring it together. Investment in total from the City Council, but also bringing together other public sector agencies of some 50 million, but on top of that, have managed to bring in some 300 million of private sector investment, bringing hundreds of homes, lots of office and workspace, and a total transformation. What we've got in Leicester today is a city that is, well, it's buzzing, it's vibrant, it's thriving, and it's very self-confident in a way that, frankly, when I was elected 12 years ago, it was not. But today, I think you ask anybody in the public sector, but particularly in the private sector, about the impact of what we've achieved and what, frankly, having the mayoral system of governance enables us to achieve, and it is something very special. What's particularly vital is that we in the public sector work with partners in the private sector and indeed from other agencies. Universities are particularly important to us because, of course, we've got in the city two very strong universities, and in Loughborough, just up the road, a third very strong universities, all with very world-renowned reputations, but all with a commitment to the place in which they are a part. And particularly with Leicester University, I'd point towards the Space Park, because of course they've got amazing expertise in space industries, and with them we've managed to create what is now known as the Space City, and has brought many people from universities, but also a lot of private sector investment that now is making Leicester a major centre for space and indeed for astrophysics more generally. The University Space Park has created £89 million of investment, many hundreds of new jobs, and including amongst those investors some 5 foreign investors here in the city. So it's an area that's now absolutely going places, and of course around it the City Council's been able to provide managed workspace for industries that very much complement what's happening in the Space City. What started just as comparatively small scale on so-called Dock 1 is now onto, I think at the last count, going towards the 5th of these significantly large complexes of managed workspace that is bringing smaller and medium-sized enterprises there and enabling them to grow in our city. People are now very positive about Leicester. I mean, they really are, and particularly, obviously, Leicester people are, but also people who come and visit it, and they're incredibly surprised to find what an attractive place it is. The environment now is very pleasant indeed. It's, you know, it's one where people very comfortable and feel it's a civilised place, but it's also a place where people want to come and invest. And we've been enormously successful, I think, at bringing investment into the city. And I think, now have a very clear vision of that we are, and it's one that is reflected in the way in which its economy is growing, and indeed a way in which its population is growing. We're the largest economy and the largest population of any city in the East Midlands, and we're getting bigger and we're getting better. The Leicester City Football Club have been absolutely brilliant news for Leicester. I mean, not only did they manage to win the Premier League, which was great, of course, they've dropped out of it temporarily, but they'll be back. But actually the King Power Group, and this is the most important part, when they took over a club that, frankly, wasn't quite sure where it was going. They took it right to the top of the Premier League, and I think they'll take them back up there again. But they're also equally important, very, very confident about the city and investing in the area around the stadium, so that it's more than just a stadium on which football is played spectacularly, but it's also an area that is growing dramatically and is seeing massive investment from them and a massive vote of confidence from them in the future of their club and our city. What we've been very keen and very successful at doing, it's not just attracting jobs to Leicester, but attracting quality jobs to Leicester, jobs that are well paid, as well as, of course, more generally, ensuring that we have full employment in the city. But we've been able to do that because of the very close working relationships with the university and our determination with them to make sure that not just we attract people here to study, but we retain them as graduates. I think it's important that UK Reef continues to do, as it does so incredibly successfully, which is to provide an opportunity for investors to see what is available across the UK, particularly in my case in Leicester, but not just in Leicester. It's something that brings together investors and opportunities in a way that is absolutely unique. What we have in Leicester is, in general, a climate and an environment in which we can make things happen. And what I'm determined should continue to be the case is that we here at the City Council should play our part in ensuring that when people do come to Leicester and do look at it and do want to invest here, we make it easy for them to do that and we pave the way. And I think we do incredibly successfully.